Good morning. Bet y'all thinking, damn, where's he been? Well, figured I'd do an update. Because today has actually been 2 full years to the day since our double wide left here. 2 years. And I bet you're thinking, damn, I figured he was done with that house. He hadn't done a video since January the 31st. Or some of you may be thinking, you know, he's still building a house? Are we done? Nope. Why aren't we done? Well, that's a great question. I'm sure some of you have paid attention to the ever so slightly increasing lumber prices, which hadn't really affected us a whole lot. We have most of our lumber already bought and locked in, and let's see, the last video I took was January the 31st. About a week after that, we had kind of a small snowstorm that kind of hindered things for a day or two. But then, the week of Valentine's Day, any of y'all that are from around here know this, but we had what was considered a 100-year storm come through and dumped over a foot of snow, sleet, ice, freezing rain. There's buildings collapsed. I mean, it was something we're definitely not used to here in North Louisiana. So that shut everything down for a week just based off the weather. Well, after that happened, my contractor called me and he said, hey man, I got some people that had some buildings collapse that are part of their livelihood, you know, trucking companies and things of that nature, feed stores, that really needed their buildings put back up so that they could continue on with their livelihood. And I said, man, I get it. I'm not going to, tell you not to go help these people that are in need. So you just do what you need to do. Well, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks rock on. I've not heard from him. So we started searching out other people to do work. Well, being that there had been a massive snowstorm, those people were busy. And the ones that weren't doing storm work for people already had other prior engagements that they were working on other projects, and unlike the contractor I had, they weren't going to just stop working on someone else's stuff and come work on mine, just like the contractor I had that did. So we had to wait on another contractor to get free from doing what he was doing to come back to start doing stuff that I'm definitely not able to do. I'm not a rough carpenter, so I'm dang sure not a finished carpenter. So by luck of the draw, the best hand that my contractor had quit working for that contractor because of their own reasons. It's none of my business. But anyway, he quit working for him and went out on his own. So luckily, I didn't know that. I just happened to have his phone number, and I contacted him and was like, man, if you're looking for some extra money on weekends, if you want to come out here and, help us out, I'd be very appreciative. So he's like, well, strange you asked me, because last week I just quit working for that contractor and I'm available. I was like, oh, well, awesome. So, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks ago, he was able to start back working down here. Now, the thing about him is he's just getting out on his own, so a lot of times he's by himself. 2 or 3 days a week he will have a helper, but a lot of times it's like you just had to get in the camera, didn't you, boy? You all right? Excuse me. He does have some helpers come with him, but they're not very experienced carpenters. They're great guys. They're hard workers. They're just not very experienced, so things don't move real fast. You can stand in the camera. I don't care. So they came back and started doing as much as they could. Now, what's weird about this is the last week that my contractor worked for me, my bill for that week was $4,000. Quattro thousando dollars. And that week, my wife and I would come in from work and would have to search for something. What have they done? What did they do today? I know they put up one door, built one door frame, faced out one door for $4,000. So that's when I contacted the contractor. Air conditioner kicked on. And he's like, yeah, they're having trouble with this and that. And he started making all these excuses. So anyway, I moved on to this new contractor. Well, he has been less than a quarter of the cost per week. Yet every day we get home, we're like, wow, he did this and this and this, and this all looks great. So, we're very close to being finished. One thing that's holding us up is right at the very end of the contractor I had working for me. He's one of the self-proclaimed best cabinet builders in the area, and a lot of people vouch for him on that. I've talked to several people that's had him build their cabinets, and they're like, dude, he's wonderful. I said, great, so he's going to build my cabinets. Well, towards the end of his tenure here, he's all of a sudden just like, oh, by the way, I'm not going to be able to build your cabinets. I got too much other stuff going on. Well, good. So I have to start searching for someone else to build cabinets. Well, they're respectable gentlemen, so they're like, Brandon, I'm working on 2, 3, 4 other jobs that I've got to get done before I can come to you. I respect that. I get it. So, finally pinned down a great carpenter guy. He's a local guy here, J. Bird McKenzie. And he's like, yep, I'll build your cabinets, no problem. So I tell him, I was like, well, look, good news is my previous contractor had me buy 20 sheets of 3/4 inch cabinet grade plywood. This was during this whole outrageous lumber prices. And he said, well, what kind is it? So I tell him, he's like, Brandon, that stuff's junk. I don't want to use it. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to run it through my saws. I said, well, what am I going to do with it? He said, I don't know what to tell you. He said, I'm sorry. He said, it's not up to the quality and the standards that I like to use, so I'm not going to use it. So now, sitting over in that little storage building, I think I've still got 12 sheets of cabinet grade 3/4 inch plywood. My phone is shaking like crazy. That I'm basically going to use to do the interior of a storage building with, because after talking to a couple people, they're like, dude, you can't buy OSB for what you paid for that. Now, as some of you probably know, OSB is almost $60 a sheet. And when I bought this plywood, it was like $64 a sheet, just as the lumber prices started skyrocketing. Way to go, Joe. Anyway, so now I'm stuck with this cabinet wood. Cabinet builder's not going to use it. And I've got one contractor working, busting his butt and getting help as he can, when he can, where he can, doing more work than I had with an entire crew down here, costing me over 4 times as much. So no, we're not done with the house. We still lack cabinets. We still lack countertops. We still lack some plumbing things that can't be done until we get cabinets, countertops, and islands and all that mess built. And Bo, the guy that is doing the finish work, is finishing up on some of the more meticulous trim pieces and some doors and stuff. But he should be finished by the end of this week. That's great. Bad news is the cabinet guy's at least a month out on getting the cabinets done. Then we got to get the countertops brought in, get those put in. Then I can bring the plumbers back in and get the plumbers back on finishing all that. So yeah, that's why there's been no videos. So let me show you what's done. It's been January 31st, February, March, April, May. 4 months since I made a video. 4 months. Bo's been working for us for maybe a month, so let me show you what we got. Figure it's just easy to start one end and go to the other. This is what the doors are going to look like pretty much all through the house. We actually, or I didn't, Lynn did the insides of these doors kind of as practice. That sun glare rough. Just to practice before she went on the doors that still need to be done on the inside, just to kind of figure it out. So we got lights out here and lights under here, which nothing's really changed outside that I can think of. If y'all see my yard off to the side, don't look at that. My yard looks horrible. I don't remember if we had all these porch lights up last time we videoed. Like I said, it's been 4 months, but look, we do have door handles. And look, nothing's really changed in here. Yep, nothing new in here. We do have doors now. Still got to put door handles in some of our doorknobs in some of them, like that one. We'll zoom out a little. And we had a big issue right here. As you can see, there's a wire run through there now. Well, that's because when the logs were stacked here and here, when they screwed those two logs together, they ran the screw straight through the Romex in the wall. So we had a dead short there and there. So lucky for us, we get to run Romex right on the outside of the logs. Be covered up by countertops, so it's no big deal. Got lights all through the house. I don't remember if we had that up. Seems like we may have. That may have been one of the last things that the other contractor that just jumped ship on us did. We're doing cedar trim around all the baseboards and stuff. None of that's changed. I don't remember what all was done in here. So we're just gonna do a walkthrough. We do have a flushable toilet in here now, which is pretty great. Yep. Drake actually took the first shower in here the other night. Was it cold? Thirsty? Help yourself. Drake man's room. I don't think there's going to be much to see different in here. Like I said, we got the baseboards and trim and stuff done. Still got to get the door to go there. Like I said, this has been 4 months, folks, so Lynn has done an incredible amount of work. Pretty much everything in here is sealed and stained. Originally, this wall was that color, and this was that white color right there. So it didn't match, so Lynn did an incredible job of sealing and staining that. And right here, I'll show you over here. I think I've showed you this before. When they built the house, they screwed up. Look at that. There's a 3/4 inch offset down that wall. I don't know how they screwed that up, but anyway. So I got a buddy of mine to cut me a cedar tree long ways in half to cover that offset there, just to hide it. Got fans up in here and lights. Me and some buddies of mine did all that. So I gotta get scaffolding out. Got a little more live trim around some of the doors. Got some more doors put up. This one, I had to get another header piece for it. This one wasn't quite big enough. It should be cut now, actually. Same story in here, just some baseboards done. Trim work, lights, fans. This door here, for some reason, the bolts they sent with the kit don't work. I don't understand how that happened, so I had to get new bolts Friday for that. Got a door on that. Shower is done. That was about a 3-week process. Long story. Got the trim around the shower. Tub could go in, but like I said, I'm wanting to call the plumbers and get them to do everything at once. More live edge stuff there. Got those lights up, need to be cleaned and straightened. Sorry about all this whitewash from the windows. That toilet still needs to be hooked up. Got the door on the closet. Y'all already seen the inside of the closet, I believe. Delta, you being the tour guide? You want to give us any insight on that, Delta? No? Okay.
See, like, sleeping bed.
So yeah, as you can tell, there's not been a whole lot of work go on because we've had one guy doing meticulous work like this. Yeah, that's not 2 pieces. I don't know how he does it. Way better than I do. So we'll gander upstairs. They did get the stairs redone. One of the last things the contractor that jumped ship did. They had gaps and all in them. They redid that. I think all this was done last time you were here. Got fans and lights up here, and did get the floors in. That's a pretty big thing. Mr. Bo does have these doors built. Be a barn style door on those to cover those up. And got all this ceiling and walls done. I don't think that was done on the last video, and Mr. Bo was kind enough to cover up all my, see, I had to do all this myself, by myself. It's a good time. This is the bathroom. Got all the tin up, still got to do the light that's going in.
And the toilet, and this works.
Yep, that works. Got all the trim, still got to get the vanities and toilets for up here, but like I said, waiting on do all that at once kind of deal. This closet's done.
Coda.
What's Coda doing? Oh, Coda's finna weed eat. Get it, girl. So yeah, as you can tell, January 31st to May 23rd. Not a whole lot been done. But what do? Your contractor jumps ship on you. You can't force him to come. And then when you get hold of somebody that will help you, you can't make them jump ship on what they're working on and do someone else like your contractor did you, you know? So yeah, like I said, we're close, but it seems like we've been close for a year. Yeah. Build a house, they said. It'll be fun. Well, between the snowstorms and the lumber prices and COVID, which I don't know that COVID really affected us too much. Find the right light switch, there we go. I don't think COVID really affected us too much here. Not many of us really ever worried too much about it and all that mess. So there it is. Hopefully the end of this week I can do another video and go, hey, look guys, there's a ton more done all of a sudden. We'll see. See you next time.